Your wallet isn't being emptied by one massive mistake. It's being drained by expenses you stopped questioning years ago. You do not need to cut everything to regain control, but you do need to cut the spending habits that quietly became permanent. Today, we are auditing the sticky expenses, creating the high-income poverty trap. You will learn how convenient spending locks people into financial stress, why flexibility matters more than income, and the three-step freedom audit that helps you reclaim control. Most people focus on the size of the bill. They completely miss the one metric that actually determines survival: the ability to pause. Stay with me. Let's look at the pattern. Assume you receive a $500 monthly raise. At first, it feels significant. You feel relief. You feel progress. But within a few months, that money usually disappears into your new baseline. It does not quietly build wealth. It gets absorbed into lifestyle upgrades, a slightly better car payment, a faster internet package, more food delivery, a premium grocery service, an upgraded phone plan, more convenience. This is lifestyle creep. The danger is not that you spend more after earning more. The danger is that your brain adapts to upgrades faster than it adapts to financial discipline. And once an upgraded lifestyle becomes normal, your expenses stop moving down. If your income suddenly drops by 20%, your spending will not naturally adjust with it. Your bills stay exactly where they are. That is what makes expenses dangerous. Not the amount, the permanence. They become sticky. And sticky expenses are what create hidden financial fragility. Most people never notice the exact moment a luxury turns into a requirement. Modern American life is built around recurring convenience. Money leaks through hundreds of tiny automatic systems that no longer feel optional. We call these sticky expenses. A sticky expense is any recurring cost you mentally moved from the choice category into the survival category. That shift changes everything. Why does this happen? Because of hedonic adaptation. Your brain is designed to normalize upgrades. Yesterday's luxury becomes today's expectation. When you first signed up for grocery delivery, it felt helpful. It felt efficient, maybe even responsible. 6 months later, walking through a grocery store feels inconvenient. Now the subscription feels necessary. The money is only part of the problem. The bigger problem is that you lost the habit of functioning without the convenience. This is why subscription businesses dominate modern spending psychology. A $10 monthly charge feels harmless. That is intentional. It is small enough to avoid emotional resistance, but permanent enough to quietly compound over years. You stop consciously buying the service. The service becomes part of your identity. You are no longer paying for entertainment. You are renting a lifestyle. And once something becomes part of your lifestyle, your brain defends it emotionally. That is why canceling subscriptions feels uncomfortable, even when you barely use them. Look at streaming services. Most households now pay for multiple platforms simultaneously while actively using only one or two. But nobody cancels because we might want it later. That sentence alone drains billions of dollars every year. The same thing happens with phone plans. Most Americans pay for unlimited data they never fully use. Why? Because the fear of limitation feels worse than the certainty of overpaying. You are paying extra to avoid discomfort. Not because you actually need the service. This is the emotional engine behind sticky expenses. The service itself is rarely the real issue. The issue is the emotional normalization of high fixed costs. Look at your bank statement from last month. How many charges were active decisions? And how many were simply old decisions repeating automatically? Most people think spending problems are about too much money leaving the account. That is not the real danger. The real danger is losing the ability to pause. That is the hidden weakness of the modern middle class. We optimized life for comfort, then accidentally removed our ability to adapt. Take the average expensive car payment. Assume $700 per month. In good months, it feels manageable. The paycheck absorbs it. But that payment is now hard-coded into your life. You cannot pause it. You cannot negotiate with it during a crisis. You cannot suddenly opt out because life changed. That is why fixed costs are dangerous. They assume your future income will always support your present lifestyle. And reality does not work that way. The same trap appears in delivery dependence. It begins as an occasional solution, a stressful night, a busy evening, a long workday, but eventually the convenience becomes routine. Now cooking feels exhausting. Driving to pick up food feels inefficient. So the spending becomes automatic. Then something dangerous happens. You start working harder to maintain the convenient spending that supposedly saves you time. You work late. You feel exhausted. You order delivery because you worked late. Now your spending exists to support the work cycle itself. This is no longer a money issue. It is a systems issue. Freedom is the ability to adapt quickly. That is what most people misunderstand. If your fixed costs consume 70% of your take-home pay, you are fragile. A layoff becomes catastrophic. A health issue becomes terrifying. A toxic workplace becomes impossible to leave. But if those same fixed costs consume 40%, you gain options. You can pivot. You can slow down. You can survive disruptions without panic. That is the difference between fragile living and anti-fragile living. Now look at busy life spending. Premium parking, pre-cut groceries, dry cleaning, meal kits, house cleaning, constant coffee runs, rush shipping. None of these are evil. The problem is accumulation. Every convenience adds another layer to your financial burn rate. And high burn rates create mental pressure. The more expensive your normal life becomes, the less room you have to think clearly. Eventually, your paycheck stops feeling like income. It starts feeling like oxygen. Ask yourself this question honestly. If your income disappeared for 90 days, how many expenses could you stop tomorrow without destroying your life? If the answer is almost none, then your lifestyle owns you. You became an employee of your own bills. Modern spending systems are designed to remove friction, and friction matters more than people realize. The less resistance attached to a purchase, the more likely you are to spend emotionally. That is why one-click buying exists. That is why auto-renewals exist. That is why apps save your payment information forever. Corporations want to remove the pause between impulse and action, because the pause is where discipline lives. Behavioral finance calls this present bias. Humans naturally overvalue immediate comfort and undervalue future consequences. A $15 delivery fee feels small during a stressful evening, but repeated frictionless spending becomes invisible spending. And invisible spending is financially lethal. Convenience becomes dangerous the moment it becomes unconscious. At that point, it stops acting like a tool. It becomes a tax. Now look at buy now, pay later systems. This is one of the most psychologically effective spending traps ever created. The total price disappears. Instead of seeing one painful, large expense, your brain sees tiny monthly pieces. The item feels affordable. The emotional resistance disappears. But your obligations quietly stack on top of each other. Soon you are not managing purchases anymore. You are managing monthly commitments. That distinction matters. Because recurring obligations create fragility faster than one-time purchases. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Friction protects you. Friction forces awareness. Friction creates time for your logical brain to wake up. Without friction, discipline disappears. Think about your daily routine. Coffee auto-refills. Streaming auto-renews. Subscriptions renew automatically. Food arrives with one tap. Shopping carts remember your card. Your money is moving constantly without conscious approval. And every frictionless system pushes you further away from intentional spending. We were taught that saving time is always worth the money. But many people are not using the saved time to improve health, relationships, or income. They are simply consuming more convenience, scrolling longer, buying more, ordering more. That is not optimization. That is dependency. The auditor does not care about comfort. The auditor cares about solvency. Most people fail budgeting because they cut joy first. They remove the dinner with friends, the weekend hobby, the occasional trip, the small things that make life enjoyable. That approach fails because the brain eventually rebels against deprivation. Instead, you must cut fragility first. That changes everything. We use a framework called the Freedom Audit. This is not emotional budgeting. This is systems analysis. Rule 1. The pause test. Trap. High fixed obligations you cannot stop during a crisis. Why it feels normal. Everyone around you has monthly payments, premium plans, and contracts. Fix rule. Identify every expense tied to a contract, penalty, or automatic commitment. Do this today. Call your internet provider, insurance company, or phone carrier and ask for a cheaper plan or retention offer. Most people never ask. That alone costs them hundreds per year. Rule 2. The replacement test. Trap. Convenience spending that replaced a basic life skill. Why it feels normal. Modern culture rewards convenience and treats self-sufficiency as inefficiency. Fix rule. Rebuild at least one low-cost skill that reduces recurring dependence. Do this today. Cook 3 meals at home this week. Cancel one delivery app. Learn one task you currently outsource. Every skill you rebuild lowers your financial pressure permanently. Rule 3. The silence test. Trap. Spending you barely notice anymore. Why it feels normal. Small recurring charges avoid emotional attention. Fix rule. Review every automatic payment line by line. Do this today. Open your last 3 bank statements. Highlight every recurring payment. Now ask one question. If I canceled this today, would my actual quality of life meaningfully decline? Most subscriptions fail that test immediately. Rule 4. The fragility ratio. Trap. A lifestyle where fixed obligations consume too much income. Why it feels normal. People compare lifestyles instead of resilience. Fix rule. Keep mandatory monthly expenses as low as possible relative to income. Do this today. Calculate your survival number. Housing, utilities, insurance, transportation, food, debt minimums. Everything required to survive 1 month. That number determines your real freedom. The wealthy often appear calm during economic downturns for one reason. Low fragility. Not because they never spend, but because their survival systems remain flexible. Meanwhile, many high earners live in permanent low-level panic. They earn 6 figures, but every dollar already has an assignment. The larger the lifestyle grows, the smaller the margin becomes. And eventually, the income no longer creates security. It only maintains pressure. This is why the auditor teaches controlled simplicity, not performative minimalism, not fake deprivation. Strategic flexibility. The goal is not to own nothing. The goal is to reduce the number of things that own you. The modern economy profits when your lifestyle becomes irreversible. That is why convenience culture expands every year. Because dependent consumers are predictable consumers. The strongest financial position is not appearing rich. It is remaining adaptable. A person with lower income and low obligations is often safer than a high earner drowning in fixed costs. That is the paradox modern culture refuses to discuss. We admire visible consumption, but invisible flexibility is what actually protects people. And flexibility starts with awareness. You must know exactly where your money goes every month. Not to judge yourself, not to shame yourself. To understand your systems. People who avoid looking at their finances usually already know the truth emotionally. The stress is already there. They simply avoid converting emotional anxiety into measurable reality. But clarity reduces fear. Vagueness increases fear. The unknown always feels larger than the visible. That applies to debt, to spending, to life itself. Most financial advice focuses on investing first. The auditor focuses on lowering fragility first. Because a portfolio means very little if your life collapses during a temporary disruption. Survival creates investing capacity. Stability creates long-term thinking. And long-term thinking creates wealth. The sequence matters more than people realize. Financial freedom is not built through intensity. It is built through durability. A financially strong person is not someone who can survive one perfect month. It is someone who can survive multiple imperfect months without panic. That requires margin, and margin requires restraint. Not deprivation, not fear, restraint. Because every recurring expense is future pressure delayed into the present. And the more pressure you borrow from the future, the less control you own today. The people who look free are often the most trapped. The goal is not to become obsessed with saving money. The goal is to reclaim flexibility, to reduce dependency, to lower stress, to regain negotiating power over your own life. That starts by identifying the invisible systems quietly controlling your behavior. Because the modern spending trap does not look dangerous. It looks convenient, and that is exactly why it works. The auditor leaves you with one final question. How much of your current lifestyle is designed around genuine value? And how much is designed around avoiding discomfort? Because there is a difference. One creates freedom. The other creates dependency. A financially dangerous lifestyle rarely feels dangerous in the moment. It feels smooth, fast, easy, and emotionally relieving. That temporary relief is what people accidentally build their entire financial lives around. If you found this useful, subscribe to The Auditor. Because modern financial systems are designed to keep people distracted, dependent, and emotionally reactive. The auditor exists to expose those systems, not through motivation, through pattern recognition, through behavioral psychology, through financial awareness. Until then, reduce fragility, increase flexibility, and protect your future attention carefully. Because attention is where financial control begins.